because we're trying something new. So I want to tell you something about what we're going to be doing with this performance. First of all, you're not the only audience that's going to be listening to this amazing music. We have, thanks to the modern technology and our friends at CENIC, which stands for the Corporation for Education Network Initiatives in California, and the Peninsula Library System, we're going to be live broadcasting this show to 3 libraries down the peninsula. So we're going to be able to see them on this screen. Woohoo! How about that? Modern technology, folks. It's amazing. This is the first time we're trying this at SFJAZZ, so you guys are all part of an amazing experiment. Okay? So right after the concert, we're going to have students from SFJAZZ Center and our 3 public libraries in the peninsula take turns asking questions of the members of the band. And so we would like to get the folks out at these libraries to give us a nice big cheer. So how about we start with Belmont? Okay, 3, 2, 1. Can we hear you, Belmont? All right, woohoo! How about that? All right, East Palo Alto, are you in the house? East Palo Alto! Buenos dias! And how about Redwood City? Woohoo! Redwood City! They're coming from another event, so they'll be arriving as we go on with the program. So this is really an amazing opportunity for everybody to be engaged with us. We hope to do this many, many more times in the future, not only with education programs and concerts, but all kinds of conferences and opportunities for us to engage. So again, thanks very much to the folks at CENIC and the Peninsula Library System for making this happen.
The melodic aspect of what Michael brought, the rhythmic aspect of what Michael brought to his music, and his powerful pocket. You know what that means? Pocket. Pocket means kind of groove. Like if you go. That's like a pocket. That's a groove. Michael was all about groove. And I think we did okay. Well, did we?
Yeah.
Awesome. Hey.
Thank you, Obed. All right, it looks like we have somebody at Belmont ready to ask a question. Go ahead, Belmont.
Hello. Were the additional sound for the composition, were those all your creations, or did you guys find them from somewhere on the computer?
That's a great question. So you mean the sounds that Robin was using on the trombone, or the sounds on that last piece that Edward arranged?
The sounds that Robin was using.
Oh, great question. Okay, so Robin, you can take this one.
Good question. Well, I use some software in a computer, and it allows me to get different sounds and makes it not sound like a trombone at all, which sometimes is good. Sometimes it's bad, but it gives me options. And I can do, like, there's a new movie coming out. So you can get different sounds out of the trombone, and it's software that I program different sounds, and it's fun to me, because to me it's like with the trombone is like a great black and white sound, but the electronics gives me color. So I'm able to get a lot of different, I'm looking at this monitor screen. It gives me a lot of different colors that I have access to, so it just opens up the whole sound palette for me, and I have a ball doing it, and I'm, you know, in this band I can do whatever I want, so I do that.
All right, thank you, Robin. All right, East Palo Alto, I think we have somebody there ready to ask a question. Yes, go right ahead. Right into the microphone so we can hear you.
When you were small, did you want to be in an orchestra band?
When you were small, did you want to be in a band? How young were you when you knew you wanted to be a musician? Anybody can take this one. All right, Sean's going to answer this one, I think. Oh, no, Warren. All right, don't look up there. Look out there.
Oh, he said that I want to be a musician?
Yeah, like when you were young, did you know you wanted to be in a band?
No, when I was young, I started playing this instrument when I was 3 years old, so I couldn't reach it. I was really tiny, so a hobby of mine outside of playing music, what I always wanted to be, I don't know if any of you parents let your kids watch, but I always wanted to be a WWE superstar. I grew up in the days of, I mean, he's still a wrestler, believe it or not. He's old. The guy named Hulk Hogan. And I wanted to be like him. And I don't know if you see these arms I'm having.
We were wondering about that. How
I
much
still hope
exercise
one
you
day
get on that?
Vince McMahon will be in here and take me under his wing.
Thank you, Warren. All right, Redwood City, I think we have somebody there ready to ask a question. Go ahead, this is you.
Hi. This is a question for anybody going into the music field. So as a child, how did you feel? You know, we grow up in a very capitalistic society, and kids want to go to college and get degrees. Did you experience any oppression or condemnation for going into the field that you wanted to go into, and that would be the music field?
Wow. Sean is all over this one.
Yeah. I grew up in a very small town in Ohio, Warren, Ohio. It's between Cleveland and Pittsburgh, and it's very blue collar. I was one of the weird kids. Like, what are you doing practicing all day, you know, all that kind of thing. So I got to high school and I started practicing more, and I decided that I wanted to be a musician. And there were a lot of people that said, you shouldn't do that. Musicians don't make any money. And they're all on drugs. They're all crazy, stuff like that. And I said, well, this is what I want to do. It's what I wake up thinking about every single day. When I go to bed at night, it's what I think about. And then someone said, well, you know, in order to make money being a musician, you got to be one of the best. I said, well, I better practice a little bit more then. But I never allowed that to deter me from what my dreams were. I didn't think about money. I didn't think about fame or any of that. I just wanted to do what I love to do. And I'm happy to be here doing it.
Yes. All right. Max Guerra, we're ready for you. Go ahead and take the mic. We have a question from Max.
What is the best part about being in the SFJAZZ Collective?
Ooh, who wants to take this one? Oh, all right, Matt.
Hey, Max.
Hey.
Man, there's so many cool things about being in this band. There's, you know, the fact that everyone's really good, you know, and it's nice to be up here with like a bunch of guys that are really, really great at their instruments, and they're really good at writing music as well, and they're also not bad as people. They're pretty cool, you know. I like to hang out with them. I think a really cool thing about being in the SFJAZZ Collective is coming to San Francisco for like this period of time, like 3 weeks that we get, and hanging out here. And you know, I live in New York, I live in Brooklyn, you know, so right now it's getting cold and the leaves are starting to fall from the trees, and you guys, this is your summer or something, whatever you call it, you know, and so we've been really enjoying that, and the food is cool here, and the people are nice. So I think for me, the best thing is like coming here and hanging out a little bit with you guys.
All right, thank you, Matt. All right, we have somebody at Belmont ready for your question. Go ahead.
How long did it take for each of you to get to where you are today on each of your songs?
So the process of making the arrangements on each of those pieces, how long did each arrangement take? Is that your question?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anybody want to take this one?
Hey, that's a really great question, actually, because it changes all the time, for me, at least. This year, I arranged the song. It's a song entitled Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. No, seriously, it's called like that. It's Don't Stop. Not just. No, and that one actually took me just a few weeks, you know, because I already kind of like had some ideas. And even when I wasn't sitting at the piano yet, already I was thinking of rhythmic ideas that I wanted to add to this composition. And it actually, surprisingly enough, it came pretty fast this time. But you know, then again, I spent a little more time because I did have surgery, not you know, a month and a half or two ago, and I guess that helped a little bit. The fact that I could not really play. I guess I spent a little more time, and it went pretty fast, you know. So that one went fast. The other one went a little longer. My original composition, you know, it's funny. It's tricky. Every single time is different. But one thing I tell you is that every single time I learn something from doing whatever, either the composition or the arrangement. I learned so much because also I have to kind of like see who I'm writing, and Matt was saying that that it's so great to be part of this ensemble because these guys are such great musicians, and we have fun together and all that stuff. But they are, one thing about this band is that everybody's idiosyncrasy is very defined. Everybody's personality is so strong that in a way that makes it easier because it's like, okay, you know, this year I'm gonna go in this direction because I know this guy can do this, and I'm gonna you know, use that and exploit that, if you will, you know. Anyway, that's my process.
Thank you, David. Thank you. All right, East Palo Alto, we have another question. Go ahead.
Do you have a favorite jazz song?
A favorite jazz song. Ooh. Ed, you want to take this one? No. Yeah. No.
Hi.
Miguel's got it.
Hi. Well, you know, one of the great things about this music is that it's very, very vast. This music has been around for a very long time. There's been a lot of great music made, some of which, luckily, we've been able to cover here in the band. You know, people like Thelonious Monk, John Coltrane, McCoy Tyner, Wayne Shorter, some of our favorite composers who've written some of our favorite jazz songs. We've been able to cover them with this band, and we've been able to play the songs. So I wouldn't say that I actually have like a favorite jazz song. Okay, let me just. But I would say that a lot of my favorite composers, people like Thelonious Monk, John Coltrane, Duke Ellington, you know, even more modern composers like Keith Jarrett or Joe Lovano, Branford Marsalis, more contemporary musicians. We've not only been able to cover them in the band, but we've been able to interact with them. People like Chick Corea, Wayne Shorter, who's still around. It's great to hear that they're still making music. So a lot of our favorite jazz songs get sort of like recycled, because I might have a favorite song today, and then I might hear something tomorrow that I like, and I'll be like, okay, so that's my favorite now. And it kind of goes on and on, you know. So this music is great in that way.
All right, thank you, Miguel. All right, Redwood City, you're up.
Again, this could be a question for anybody. If you weren't a jazz musician, what would you be?
Navy SEAL.
Did you guys hear that? Awesome. All right, Anushka, we're ready for your question.
What goes through your mind when you're improvising?
Wow, very good question. Yeah, well, sometimes all kinds of things. Actually, I like to try and clear my mind before I play. But, you know, all kinds of things come to my mind. I'll be thinking about who is in the audience, who's listening, I'll be thinking about, you know, whether my kids made it to the show or not, or, and those kinds of, sometimes we're nervous, and we're thinking, oh, am I gonna, oh, it's great to see all these people here, so there's a certain, we're recording too. I don't know if you knew this, no, you didn't. We're recording live, and this is gonna end up on a CD, and sometimes that's in the back of the mind, so I try to actually, you know, let those things go. So all kinds of things.
I wanted to add on to your answer to your question. It's a great question, but people think that, you know, how do people improvise? It's so strange, but everybody in this room improvises every day, all day long. We're all improvising. Especially when we speech, I don't know what you're going to say to me. You don't know what I'm going to say to you, and we just improvise. We just interact in real time, and you react to what someone says to you. Like I react to what the drummers may play or what the piano may play, and then I just respond to that, and they respond to me. So everybody improvises all this day long. It's the most natural thing we do. So it's just not a very mysterious thing. You just have to apply what you do every day into a musical term or genre.
Thank you, Ronan. All right, we have 3 last questions. One from Belmont. Go ahead, Belmont. Do you know how to play Oye Como Va? Dale. Yes. Thank you, Belmont. That was a great question. East Palo Alto, you're up. Go ahead.
If you weren't a jazz musician, what would you be?
Ah, I see that's a popular question.
I would be a Buddhist monk.
I can see that. Any other? We got the Navy SEAL, the Buddhist monk.
You know, a lot of us play like a lot of sport. You know, so me personally, I would have, if I was better at sport, maybe I would have been a sportsman. But I wasn't that good. So, but I'm good at music. So that's cool.
All right, and Redwood City. Oh, I see we have the Triple Crown over here. Go ahead.
This is a question for the piano player. I play piano myself, but I don't read notes. I was wondering what advice you could give to someone who doesn't read notes to continue playing the piano and not get bored with the same material over and over again.
Well, you know, I started out playing by ear, like you, and I learned to read later. And it actually worked out really well for me, especially because of the music I ended up playing, the genre of music I ended up playing. So I liked picking up songs by ear. So just, you know, whatever tune you like, try to learn it by ear. And then later, you know, you can start to read music as well and compare notes. If what you picked up is the same as the composer wrote, you know?
And it's never too late to learn, right? You can be learning at any age and applying. So these were such wonderful questions. These were such wonderful answers. Wasn't this fun? It was a really cool experiment. We want to thank all of you for being here with us on the Saturday. We want to thank CENIC and the Peninsula Library System. And how about one more hand for the amazing SFJAZZ Collective? We'll see you next month, November 7th, for Dorado Schmidt. Take care, everybody. Happy Saturday.